Hey everyone. Wow. Somehow we are at week 9 already. And that really blows my mind. We're really kind of on the last third of our journey here in Capstone class. And so, some of us are wrapping up lessons, some of us have already wrapped up lessons, some of us are still working on lessons. But I thought today it would be good for us to think about two particular things in our last session, really on planning. I want us to think about like the standards we use. Um, how do they actually provide input into our planning, or do they? It kind of depends, I think, from site to site to district. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time thinking about standards in the second half of today's session. I'm going to have you look at some lessons, look at the standards in those lessons, and then just kind of analyze them. What do you notice? What do you wonder in those particular lessons? To start, though, what I want us to think about is coming back to universal design for learning, is because I always think that we need to start here. We need to really continue to think about, like, what are the barriers that exist for our students, and how are the ways that we can support them in removing those barriers as best as possible. And so we're going to dive back into UDL again. We're going to look at a couple of websites, just kind of briefly read over those, see what you get from them. But what they talk about is kind of like the difference between universal design for learning and differentiation, right? We ask you in the unit or in your lesson plan template to talk about differentiation. But sometimes really all that is universal design for learning in action. Sometimes it isn't. And so I want you to have a little bit of a conversation and discussion around kind of differences and similarities between UDL and differentiation. So you'll look at some lessons, you'll go back to the UDL exchange, which we did early in the semester. So you should have a login for that. If not, it's really easy to create one and everything is free. I highly recommend anything from the CAST website. They're a wonderful group of researchers and educators. So today is all about UDL and differentiation. And then we're going to wrap up with standards talk. And so that's our goal for now. From here on out, we're going to be focusing on the last part of this semester. We're going to be looking at the assessment piece. And so when we get together next, we're going to be looking at, like, how do we analyze student work? How do we provide feedback? All that kind of good stuff. And some of you all will have either at that point already finished your lessons and have provided feedback. Some of you all will not have taught yet. We'll be, again, as always, somewhere in between. So anyway, that's our plan. We'll kind of talk about a whole bunch of fun stuff the next time I see you all. And as always, reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.